Man, you are now listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio on 96.9 FM and 1340 AM Hopewell, Virginia. I'm Mo, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Glen and Wole. Our other co-host George is out. What's up, fellas?
What's
Nothing
good,
much,
my
man.
dude?
Ain't much,
Just
man.
chilling, man.
That Commanders news is buzzing, so we here to talk about
Yeah,
it.
that one dude stay give us news, bro. I don't even know why, but he stay give
Hey,
us news,
man,
man.
the
Hey,
the 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 source of the news is unfortunately been a player that's not even on the team as
it's
of
crazy,
yet.
bro.
You know what I mean?
It's
But let me get the particulars out the way, and then we'll get to this, guys. For the listeners out there, please subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold, everything. Also tweet us at ABG underscore everything, E with three R's, all right? E with three R's. And hit us up on IG at ABG underscore everything, and like our All Burgundy and Gold everything Facebook page. Make sure you guys subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel as well.
all right, y'all. It's the time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll debate whether Brandon Aiyuk is starting to be a problem. Problem for me already. For Jayden Daniels and the Commanders.
Hey, man, as you mentioned, man, San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk is at it again. He has been doing a lot of subliminal campaigning to play with Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders on TikTok and social media. He recently posted a still image of the Commanders practice film with Jayden Daniels going up against the backup defense. As Commanders fans, fellas, how do you feel about Aiyuk having access to such practice film?
I think most players have access, and most teams have access to other team stuff. If they share it, it's fine. He's not. They don't play each other this year. They're not in the same. They're not in the same division. So I don't care. And it's right now what he's probably looking at. It is July 10th as we name this, as we talk about this. It's so vanilla. It's so vanilla that it don't even make a difference.
I hear you, Glenn. I'm gonna let Wole go.
Yeah, you gonna let the okay. So
I'm gonna let Wole go, and then I'm gonna
man,
chime
Glenn,
in.
I got love for you, man. You my guy, bro. I so disagree with you though, homie. I feel like at the end of the day, man, you got like you have nobody, you've never seen anybody in any. You're right, they do share content. I'm not denying that. That you got friends in the league, so I get like you may say, hey, give me some pointers. I'm sure that's what it was. Like, give me some pointers on something, right? I'm sure Jayden Daniels had that conversation with Aiyuk or something like that. But you never have anybody post something out there in the public. Like for any, we've never seen that ever. You know what I mean? Like I don't care what like ever. So for that to be posted in the public eye for people to see, like you have a outsider posting something in practice, like that's weird. Like I don't care. Like that's not a good look. So to me, like he is being a deterrent on the movement of trying to change the culture on this team. Like not to say that he's causing a rift or whatever, but he's bringing negative attention that we don't need. I'm cute about that. Jayden Daniels doesn't need to be totally honest with you. Like Jayden Daniels hasn't proved himself yet as a football player. Yet he hasn't proved himself for the vets in the locker room. Some of his fellow rookies. Like he hasn't done anything to prove himself yet. So before he gets an opportunity to do that, now he's linked to this because now you're gonna have questions on, bro. What are you sharing with this dude? Like you ain't checked your boy. And not to say like, and Glenn, to your point, you're correct. Like people share information. I'm not saying like they don't, but like now you got to ask questions. Like now people on the other end, like your teammates, like yo, what are you sharing with this dude? Like what's happening? Like can we even trust you with certain things or whatever? Because and then like to a point where damn, you ain't checked your man. Because now that's what they asking. Like your man that asked you if it was cool to post this. Because that's what they saying, like, and they're gonna think to themselves, like, you must have okayed it for him to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't think he did. I don't think that Aiyuk okayed it with him. I don't think that. So I'm gonna keep that a buck. I don't think he did. But I'm saying like that that's what you're gonna have questions in the locker room. Folks are gonna be like, yeah, you must have okayed this. There's no way this dude can go rogue on you like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think it don't look good for Jayden Daniels too. That's what I'm saying. That's supposed to be your boy. If that's your boy, then you may have to choose new friends.
Yeah, but it don't look good for him for in-house, man. For us as a fan, I could care less. I'm gonna be honest with you. Keep it a buck, right? It is July. I could care less what dude is watching. I could care less if Jayden Daniels is hanging out with him. I could really care less if Aiyuk is trying to he's making himself look bad. That if he wants to come to Washington, that he may not be the player that Washington needs in the organization, right? So he's setting himself up. And I said the last week's show, he's doing this just to leverage that 49ers so he can get the bag. He don't want to come to Washington.
He ain't doing a good job of it. He's not doing a good job of it.
He's not doing a good job of it. He's not doing a good job at all. It shows his immaturity, what it shows. If any slight against Jayden Daniels, nah. Man, I don't count. He's a rookie. If anybody's gonna handle it, got to be handled by by Dan Quinn them. But I don't think Jayden Daniels should get a bad rap from this. Aiyuk should go away. Sometimes your friends are better off your friends from a distance and not close.
I'm gonna have to side with Wole on this, and I'm gonna give you the nuance to this one, Glenn. People in the NFL do share tape, but Jayden Daniels is a rookie quarterback.
There you go, bro. That's just
and it's practice film. I don't care how vanilla it is; it's the basic install.
Yeah.
And you share game film if you have likewise opponents. We know coaches do that. I'm pretty sure the Washington Commanders coaches are not all right with Brandon Aiyuk having their practice film that they're currently working on right now. And it's not like Jayden Daniels has a history with this team beyond a couple of weeks, right? If he had years under his belt and he was sharing just random practice footage, maybe not so much smoke in the city. But right now, this is all Jayden Daniels knows. And this footage is at Aiyuk's disposal to the point where he's sharing it on social media for his own agenda, which is going to segue us into our next question. But like, it can't be a good look. It can't be a good look to have what you have been practicing as a rookie quarterback, as supposed to be a face of a franchise type quarterback, to have this kind of foolishness going on about you, following him to the 49ers meetings, and then stuff like this before you even step on the field for your team. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. What I'm saying is it can't be good because the media is pinning this. They're just waiting for the opportunity to lash out on this young kid who already has a bunch of pressure on him coming in as the second pick in the draft for an organization who needs a new face, and he's the last piece of the changing of the guard.
Yeah, but if the worst thing that Jayden Daniels have is Brandon Aiyuk sharing film, guess what? That's a good offseason for the Washington Commanders. Because we go in the past from the past things that the Washington Commanders have done in the past. And guess what? It's not really sharing film. It was a clip. I'm not concerned about a clip. And he didn't show a 30-minute segment of their practice.
It was a still. Yeah, you mean still, right? Still.
Yeah, it was a still. So it didn't show any movement. It's no different from a reporter going there showing a still. There's no difference.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's no different from a reporter showing a still. It is a still. It's a clip. It didn't show any movements. It didn't show any receivers routes. It didn't show none of it. It was a still. Now, what he watched on his own time, cool. Matter of fact, let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. It may be, you know what? Maybe they got film early. Maybe they working on some things. And I'm not giving a benefit of doubt. But I'm just saying, got to be devil's advocate. Players watch film of every team throughout the season. They got friends, as you mentioned, who let's share film. Let's talk about this, that, and the other. So guess what? It's a clip. That's the way I look at it. It's a clip. Now, if this was in November, and I'm going to go what? This was in November, this was in October, then it may be a different story, right? Yeah. If it was during the season, I say, okay, yeah, this is too much. It's off season. It is for mini camp, and again, it's July.
Let me read a comment on X. My man JB Rod said, for the right price deal, he would be a great player for this team, but he's doing the most, and I'm just about all good there. Talking about Aiyuk.
And I think a lot of people are going to have their questions about his what he's trying to achieve here, right? Which leads me into our next question. What do you think his agenda is by posting this still shot? Whether it was a still shot, a video, what do we think Aiyuk's agenda is with that post that he posted on social media?
Man. So his agenda is obviously he's trying his hardest to get out of San Fran. To be honest with you, that would be his agenda. I just don't think he's going about it the right way. I want to tackle something Glenn said. Like I think, like Glenn, it wouldn't be an issue if Jayden Daniel was a vet. It would like I think the nuance when Mo was talking about is very important here though. You're dealing with a rookie. That's the difference. It's a rookie, and I think that has to be really magnified. If this was a dude that was established, if this is Peyton Manning, like I want to play with Peyton Manning, and you did like that's fine. Or Pat Mahomes, I guess I use a current player, Pat Mahomes, it would be fine. But you're dealing with a rookie, a dude who hasn't proven anything, hasn't done anything yet. So I think that like that's what makes it different. And this is a whole. And to be honest with you, everything here is brand new. This is a whole new. If this was like the Niners. Let's use the Niners as an example. This on the flip side, this was the Niners. We wouldn't be sweating it for real, because it's an established organization right now. It's a well-run organization. This is new. Like what Washington is doing is new. It's a new regime in terms of coaching. It's a new regime in terms of ownership. This is totally new, and you want to wipe away all that BS drama that you used to deal with the past regime. Mm-hmm. That's what makes this a little bit more annoying, to be honest with you. I feel like this is why Brandon Aiyuk is bringing this issue to DC. Like if it's a real high class organization, I'm with you, Glenn. But this is not in terms of the past. You're trying to wipe all that away. You want to wipe all of that negativity away, and you don't want to bring negativity here. And I feel like this is bringing like unwarranted negativity. You know what I'm saying? Like you're right in the grand scheme of things. Like it's a steal, blah blah blah. But it's perception. Perception is everything, though. Don't get it twisted. Perception is still everything. When you're trying to build something, perception is everything. And you don't want anything to link into that locker room, period. Like just because I may feel a certain way, Glenn, you may feel a certain way, Glenn. There may be a player in that locker room that's like, this ain't a good look. And you want to avoid all of that. And that's what I'm saying, because you're trying to build a winning culture. You know what I'm saying? You think let's keep it as a buck. You think Bill Belichick's dealing with that? You think that's happening to Bill Belichick? No, it ain't. You think that's happened with like any of the great coaches that we've seen in the past, like a Joe Gibbs? No, Joe ain't dealing with that. We use here like so. To me, it's still a representation of what you're trying to build here. That's where I'm like with Brandon. That's why I'm like, It's either two things. It's either Jayden has to tell Brandon Aiyuk to chill, or Washington, the regime in Washington has to talk to Jayden. It's like, all right, get your boy to chill. Because I guarantee you, they not liking it. I'm giving a buck. You may not like it. You may not care about it, Glenn, but I'm guarantee you, Adam Peters ain't liking it.
That's a grown man, dog. You can't tell you a grown man, yo, chill. That's a grown man. He's trolling. To me, I look at him just trolling on the internet so we can keep talking about him. But it's a troll on the internet so we can keep talking about him.
I don't know if it's necessarily a troll.
I don't think it's trolling.
No, he's trying to look. He really wants. He wants his $30 million a year. Let's be. It's a $30 million.
That's
troll.
his agenda. He wants his money. That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
It's a $30 million troll. He wants his $30 million. Right? He wants his money from the San Francisco 49ers. He keep going. That's why he was on the Pivot podcast talking about. Look, I'll go to Seattle. I mean, not Seattle. I'll go to the Steelers. Pittsburgh. I want to go to the Washington. Right. That's why he's out there making his rounds. He wants to keep his name out there so they can try to give him some leverage to get some money.
But I don't think this is proper leverage, though, Glenn.
But here's the thing, though. San Francisco already turned the trade down for Washington. Washington's not going to offer anything else.
Let me tell you what I think this is all about, Glenn.
They're not going to offer anything else.
That's my point. I think that Aiyuk does not want to come back to the 49ers at this point. I think that Aiyuk has been doing everything that he's been doing, outline them to make them look bad so that they are forced to get him out of there. What the problem is, the 49ers want high compensation or the highest compensation they can get for him. He's trying to stir the pot so much so that they just eventually just get rid of him. They just get rid of him for some pennies on the dollar. And I think that's what his MO is right now. Because he's come to the realization that they're probably not going to pay him that. I don't see them. They just drafted a first-round receiver. Debo is already on the books for close to $25 million a year or close to something like that. They're not going to pay him $30 million. They're not going to pay him $30 million. It's no way. I just drafted a player at your position. I already have Debo. You're on a fifth-year option that you don't want to play for. They're calling this bluff that he's not going to play for it, and He's trying to do everything so that he doesn't have to play on that 1-year contract and risk the injury. I was listening to Devontae Adams on a podcast.
Yeah, he was
talk
on.
about
Yeah.
what Green Bay offered him when he decided to make his move, and what he had to then do, as an insurance policy for himself that season, by pulling out insurance on himself in case anything happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like Ayuk ain't go. Ayuk is trying to get out of there so he can avoid all of that. So he'll go to a team that is ready and willing, because anybody that trades for him has to be willing to pay him. So negotiations will go a lot smoother with whatever new team it is. I think he's just trying to cause enough of a rift where the San Francisco 49ers are like, you know what? We're wiping our hands of you. We're going to get you go for whatever we can get for you, and we'll deal with our losses that way. That's what I think that's what I really think his agenda is.
No, I think he definitely wants to, like you said, I don't think he wants to return to San Fran. But I just think there's better ways to do it. Like there's no
professionalism, no decorum that he's
displaying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now.
I guess that's my problem. That's my problem.
If I'm another GM,
like you can definitely want to get out. Like Glenn, I get what Glenn's talking about. Like he a grown man, but there's tact. Like we've seen holdouts. Like that's cute. But Devontae Adams wanted to play with the. All right, I'm glad you use Devontae Adams as an example. That's a very good example.
Holdouts. We've seen quiet holdouts.
That's a very.
Holdouts that wasn't so quiet.
That's a good example. Devontae Adams is a great example, actually. Who did Devontae Adams want to play with?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. How do you go about that?
Derek Carr.
Like, did he do anything? Did he do anything like out this world? No. Did he post stuff with Derek Carr? Like he was. Did he? They were best friends. I'm sure he got Derek Carr. I'm sure Derek Carr sent him a bunch of stuff and vice versa. Did he post any of that stuff?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, like we can say this wasn't this wasn't that. Dudes hold out all the time. Dudes do this, do that. Like there's ways to get your money. You know what I'm saying? But my issue is this, and this is like, I guess it's just a code type thing. There's no need to drag another man into your business.
Correct.
That's my problem. And there's no, if you're going to drag, and if it's supposed to be quote unquote your best friend, then what we doing here?
Speaking of dragging another man into your business, is Aiyuk making life more difficult for his best friend and Commanders rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels? Go ahead.
We would never know, though, right? Because the Washington camp is quiet. We'll never know unless someone asks Jayden Daniels, right? And y'all mentioned it too. Y'all mentioned it earlier. If he starts playing bad, but I think he'll be so removed from this when training camp comes that it will be other stories why he's not playing well.
Training camp starts in 2 weeks.
Training camp in 2 weeks. Unless Aiyuk does something else again, I'm not asking a question at camp about Aiyuk.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. No, that's true. Unless he does something there, he shouldn't. You shouldn't. I agree.
You should.
But I will say this though. I'll say this though, Glenn. If he struggles though, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come up. Don't get twisted.
It may come up that he's spending. It may come up that he's spending too much time with him or hanging out with him, but not gonna come up while your boy posting Twitter or TikTok posts.
No, it'll be phrased differently. This is how it'll be phrased. It'll be phrased.
Aiyuk is absolutely going to be mentioned the first day of media availability.
Oh yeah, definitely that he's going to.
There's no way y'all think Aiyuk's not going to be mentioned.
No, he will. He will. Somebody's gonna ask the question.
Somebody's waiting on that question.
It's going to be phrased differently. It's going to be phrased.
He won't answer it truthfully.
Yeah. All right. So
that's not what we asked. That's not what we asked, Glenn.
No.
He won't. And truth be told, the way that
it's local media.
I don't know who watched this podcast. They may not let that question be asked.
Yeah, exactly. So to Glenn's point, all right, they asked the question. It'll be phrased this way. Truth be told, it won't even be evil. It won't be negative. It would be like it wouldn't be anything that's tampering, but it would be to a point where it's like
it may not be asked to him neither.
Yeah, they'll probably ask him a question about the Aiyuk. Like, would you like Aiyuk to be here in DC? Something like that.
And God help us all if Jahan has a bad practice.
get
Aiyuk. Okay, that's it. That's a fan base though. That's a fan base.
That's a fan base though. We talking about practice? I'm talking about bad weeks, games.
You
Let's
know
not
what?
forget
I'm trying to think because honestly,
You're
Mo,
thinking
to
too far
Glenn's
down the
point,
line,
that's a good
Glenn.
point though.
Games don't start till September.
No. To Glenn's point, to Glenn's point, they may not ask the question. Now that I think about it, they may not because the local media is kind of they're kind of different. So
they're different. That's what I'm telling you.
yeah.
Is they different, right?
No,
They
I agreed. I had to think about that. I had to think about it. It won't be all right if if the question is asked though, Mo. This is good. This is actually a good discussion. It'd be somebody from the national media that's there. It won't be
Listen,
local.
we getting into nuances about local
Yeah, I'm just
government,
trying to keep it a buck. I'm
local
keeping
and
it a buck.
state government,
I'm gonna
whatever
keep it a
y'all
buck.
want
I'm
to get
keeping it a
into.
buck.
That question is going to be asked.
No. I'm saying like the first week, maybe not though. Maybe not.
The only way
The first
a
day.
question,
Sorry, the first day, maybe not. I'm gonna be
the
honest. The first
only
day,
way a
maybe not.
question is not asked
Yeah.
is if Aiyuk is under contract. If Aiyuk is still out there,
Yeah.
it's going to be asked.
Wait, all right, what question do you think is gonna be asked? How do you think it's gonna be asked? I guess
Something in reference to him, his availability. Would they like the? Would he still like the pairing to happen? It's going to.
Okay, I can see that question being asked. Would you like Ayuk to be here in DC? Like I could see that question being asked.
And his answer would be, we have great receivers in Washington D.C.
Yeah,
He's my
yeah.
friend. Of course, it would be. Of course,
And
he would like
then
to.
that's going.
But the deal.
And you
But
don't
the
think that's
deal.
going to open the door for somebody to follow up? Well, we've seen the movement in the
Nah,
offseason.
that won't happen. That
No.
won't happen. That I'll guarantee won't happen. That I'll guarantee won't happen. That I can pretty much guarantee that not with this market. I can guarantee you that.
I'll be here, gentlemen. I'll be here.
The initial question though, Glenn, the initial question that just like, would you like that will happen? I agree with that. The follow-up may not happen. That I could say.
So to answer the question, no one thinks he's making life difficult for Jayden.
Oh, I do. I know. I think he does. I think he is because now this is the truth. Now, like Glenn said, or whoever said it, the issue is now you have to get into this. We can't hear negative things about you at camp.
Right.
We can't because now that's going to be a part of the narrative. Because we live here. We live in the DMV. Glenn, you hear the stuff. Like you hear the stuff too. Like so like the radio personalities here, the DM like the DMV media, they're going to use it to say, okay, he's struggling. Maybe you shouldn't have been focused on Brandon Aiyuk as much. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of being true or false, the narrative it's about cultivating a narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be all right. Like maybe you're gonna have a smart mouth dude gonna be like, you should have been focused more on the playbook than Brandon Aiyuk. Didn't say that he doesn't. Didn't say he does. Because I'm sure he's focused on the playbook. But that narrative now is gonna be. They're gonna play that narrative. They're gonna be like, you should be worried about. Say he misses Jahan open, or he missed like a Jahan open. He'd be like, all right, you've been worried about Aiyuk that you like Jahan getting open. He's doing work, but you ain't hitting him. You know what I mean? Like you've been worried about bringing Aiyuk here to DC. I'm not saying it's not fair. Like I want you to understand, I'm saying it's not fair, but you're gonna have people who want to use that narrative.
Okay, so speaking of fair, is this all on Aiyuk, or does Jayden Daniels deserve some blame too?
Then you can handle that.
I'm gonna give Jayden some blame because Jayden went to the 49ers organization with him. He made.
He ain't go to him, so he ain't going. So I heard he ain't go inside. So
he didn't go in, but he went with. But
he was at the pivot. It was just at the pivot. He just the pivot thing. That's what it was.
Yeah, he made him feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And so then once you make somebody feel comfortable, right? They think they have latitude with the relationship, right? True. And so now he had latitude in this relationship that he can do. Because we boys, we got latitude. I can do some things, and so that's where it's at. So I blame both of them because there was no boundary set. Jayden got to look at it. This is my job, right? This is the organization that I work for. This is the team that I work for. Don't make my job, go back to the other question, this has potential to make my job difficult, right? And Jayden may be the point where, Aiyuk say, look, man, it's really not about you. It's about me. I have fun on social media. That's a conversation that boys need to have. So Jayden needs to take responsibility for his part by not setting any boundaries with Aiyuk. And Aiyuk needs to say, yeah, you know what? You're right, bro. I didn't set any boundaries. You didn't set boundaries, and I made it went a little bit too far. And if he's getting that heat, I'm going to use the wrestling term for a minute. If he's getting that heat in the locker room, right? Then he needs to go to his boys and say, look, man, I'm getting heat in the locker room. Because if this was WWE, Jayden Daniels might have been dressing in the closet like the Miz.
I mean,
Like,
go ahead.
go, Mo, go. No, you go.
It's hard not to blame everybody involved. He's not getting this practice footage out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, he was with his homeboy. We know a lot of people hang out in the off season. We don't see them handle their official business together. You know what I mean? We don't see them highlighting each other in their interviews as leverage to get themselves where they want to be or in the position that they want to be. Not that outwardly.
yeah,
I think the pivot was the perfect storm, though, because Ryan Clark clearly has a relationship with the both of them
yeah.
because
Arizona State, because his son
his
plays.
kid played with them,
Yeah,
so that's a whole different kind of vibe. And you could tell in that interview how the questions were laid. It was just an opportunity to give Brandon Aiyuk a chance to get off what he needed to get off his chest and whatnot. But the media or fans are not used to this kind of connection between two players from a different team, like playing out like this in terms of one of the largest things that a player has to handle in his career is contract negotiation, especially not a rookie.
yeah,
That's the caveat that comes with Jayden Daniels. Him being a rookie, him most of the time, most people feeling like you have to handle your own business as a rookie. And what we know about the hardships of being a quarterback to come into the league and whatnot, like they would probably prefer him to be worried about himself right now,
yeah.
right, and remove himself out of this news cycle. But Ayuk is trolling, as Glenn has mentioned, and whatever he thinks he's going to get out of his trolling, I think is going to rear his ugly head at him.
I agree.
So at this point, everybody involved has deserved some kind of blame.
So, yeah, go ahead. You good?
Yeah,
I'm gonna read some stuff on social media. On the in the Redskins Nation football club, talked about how folks feel about this IU situation. George Perry said that unprofessional, and he should be fined for that. In terms of talking about posting the film, said because he isn't a commander, and DQ needs to check his players. That's one. My man. So Milreed Williams posted, it's generally unimportant to glance at, but Jayden has to grow up a bit. First, gambling right after the draft, and now sharing OTA clips with a friend who is using him in contract negotiations with the team. Be as Jayden, be as mature off the field as you appear to be on the field. These are the big boys. I mean, these are the big boys now. He don't need film to fry you. Let's see. He is a tap. Okay, I got one. He says, "I love it." Kev said, "I love it when the heck has somebody actually wanted to come here." Talking about you. So, but yeah, man. So one more. BJ Snow said the public is allowed to watch and people record and take pictures all the time. They're not preparing for a game. The public isn't allowed to film this though. I keep saying the public, not really. There's certain practices the public isn't allowed to film or even take pictures. So you can say like, yeah, that's part of camp. Like some part of the training camp, like fan appreciation, they let you film or take clips. This isn't one of them. So just think about that. Like I know, yeah, the public can, but not this practice. They would allow fans in the practice then if that was the case. So it
let's just
sounds
hope
good.
that
And the clip looked like a high and sky clip anyway. This is a professional clip from the commander, so it's not a fan clip.
Say again.
This is a look like if they're either on the crane taking this from up high,
Yeah,
or drone clip, something
yeah,
like this. So this is not a fan clip.
yeah. It's not a fan club. No, not at all. It's film. It's something they watched from.
Yeah,
It's a cut. It's a
it's a
cut. I
cut.
mean,
It's
it
a
is
cut up.
like I have an idea what happened. Like I mean, I'm sure he looks for advice. That's not like Ayuk's been in the league enough for a number of years now. JD wanted some advice. There's probably watching film together. It's a possibility. It's no knock on. I'm not. We know that it typically like we've all said. It's probably they're friends in the league, and I'm sure like when Ray Lewis may be watching film with other people, like other defensive players of practice, and they're looking for advice back in the day. Sure, it happens. It's just the difference is somebody's not taking an image of that and a still and posting it on social media. That's the only difference.
Right. That's
You know
right.
what I
And
mean?
like what we're battling here is public perception, right?
That's
Like
all
it's
we're
not,
battling. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's really what it is. It's a battle of public perception. So like right now, it's not a good look for Ayuk because it's not helping him with his contract. It's not bringing him any closer to a contract.
Yeah.
And it's not a good look for Jayden because typically when you draft a quarterback, you want your quarterback to be all in on what you have going and what he has going before him because most people know that NFL quarterbacking is hard regardless, and it's definitely hard for a rookie coming out of college, learning a new system, learning new players, learning a new city, all of the things that goes into that. So in the court of public opinion, like it's not going to be a good look for Jayden. It's not going to be a good look, especially when we have no other news right now.
Exactly.
Especially when we have no other news. So
And
we got
that's,
to
I
keep
think
all
that's
that.
the point there. I think the we having no other news leaves it open for speculation, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And this is where our theories and our news, our journalistic approach comes in. Our hypothetical situations come in. How is it affecting? We have no news from either side. You have no news from the 49ers, right? And you have no news from the Commanders saying, hey, this is what affected. The Commanders are keeping things tight-lipped. Dan Quinn ain't making a press conference about it. Kingsbury ain't saying nothing about it, which makes us as a Commanders fan, to me as a Commander fan, or reporters say, you know what, it may not be an issue. Maybe an issue they want to, maybe an issue, not an issue to the public, but it may be an issue that they want to handle in-house.
Which is good.
In an in-house situation, and we'll never know.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing, yeah. Which is my point. Which is a good thing because we know in past regimes, we knew everything.
Yeah, it'd be out on display.
Hey, well, what day did the Commanders report to camp?
It's coming up. It's a couple weeks now, right? It's
Well,
20 what?
We're about to find out in about 2 weeks.
Right. Let me check. Actually, let me check. That's a good question. Actually, July training camp.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the 21st or the 23rd.
Commanders. That's it. That's like it's usually like around that time, right?
Yeah.
The 24th. No, 18. No, the 8. No, report the 18th. Dang, July 18th.
For the rooks.
Nah, it says like Commanders players will begin reporting to training camp July 18th. First full practice the 24th.
Okay.
That's actually it's coming quick.
2 weeks, man. 14 days.
Yeah. Then we can stop talking. Then we can talk about good stories, right, Glenn?
Good stories, dog. Good stories. Good stories. Stories that happen. And I'm not saying this again. Right? It's July 10th, and I'm not saying this. This team is not on paper. We talked about another team earlier on paper. This team on paper is not a playoff team. This team is a rebuilding team. This is a team that is structured something different. We just need to see the cohesiveness. And when you bring stories like this, this is where a good head coach can bring that cohesiveness into the locker room, even with this story, right? Even with what's going on. And even if Brandon Aiyuk does come, if you're watching the Commanders, if you're a receiver, in that locker room, you want this story to start and die down. That means your job may be safe.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to keep this a buck, man. I don't want to do it.
I'm tired of talking about Aiyuk. I'm tired of talking about Jayden Daniels.
Yeah, me too, bro.
I'm trying to get. I need these 2 weeks to come.
What I said when y'all tweeted me.
Yeah. We got to tackle the topic though. But you're right.
I know y'all listeners out there want to hear position battles, what's going on, and we can't wait to get y'all that. Yeah. Until then, Jayden, lay low.
Lay low, bro. Lay low, man.
And
I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't want your boy, Jayden. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want your boy. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't want your boy. I don't want your boy neither. I did. At first, I was like, it ain't bad. I ain't mad if it happened or whatever. Now I don't want your dude because he said like he don't fit. He don't fit what they try and build in terms of like he seems like a real me dude right now, and I just don't. Really
money will make you a me dude, and I give a little bit of grace to that.
No, I know you're right. Yeah,
because the opposite of that is you playing on that and something bad happening, you getting hurt.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that,
security. So this the only time. This the only time I think a player is allowed to be a me dude.
No, it's the way you go about it. Though. It's the way I'm with you. Like I totally agree. Like I feel like because your contracts aren't guaranteed, so I never have an issue of trying to dictate where you can go. Like I don't have a problem with that. It's the way you're going about it. Like that's my problem. Like that. What I mean, me dude, is not the money. Actually, it's not the contract itself. To be honest with you, bro, it's more of you're you're not really caring about your homie. Like that's a characteristic flaw to me. Like you're willing to throw your homie under the bus You know what I'm saying? By posting, it's like you didn't even. I like now if he asked Jayden and Jayden was like, "Yeah, it's cool," then that's immaturity at the highest. So but I'm leaning on that side that he didn't ask Jayden because I want to believe that he didn't ask Jayden Daniels. Like I want to believe that he didn't ask him.
I mean, the way that they've been parading around all off season, Jayden Daniels might
Yeah,
have been
but
sitting right next
I
to him.
want
Yeah.
it personally. I don't want it. So basically, I was like, Jayden can't be this naive. Like I'm gonna say, Jayden can't be this naive.
No, he can't.
So I'm like, yo, so like you're gonna throw your homie in the bus. Like to me, that's a different type of me, dude. To your point, Mo, like I'm cool with getting your money. I'm not mad at you trying to get your money. Like I'm not. This is a tactic that I've never seen before. Like you got a dude who trying to make his name in the league. Like he a rookie. He ain't even touched the grass shit in the NFL for real. And like you're willing to put like clips of like if you would put a clip of him not on that football field, I think I wouldn't even have a bigger issue. Like you had a football clip with him on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, come on, bro. Like
He was better off going to all these talk shows talking about I want to be a commander.
There you go. Then there'll be no issue. Like it'll be no issue. So I think that when I mean me, God, like it's not the money. It's the length of it. Like what you trying to look what you willing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me says something totally different.
And here it is. He's a smart man. He's a smart man. They met with the 49ers, him and his people. He know they're not willing to trade him. They know he's not going to go to Commanders. What does he think it is going to do? This is not going to push the Command. Let's be honest. He's dealing with Scott Peters, right? I mean, right? Peters. Peters. It's not going to sway him either way, right? They might be boys from San Francisco. He may like you, but with these tactics, he ain't gonna pull the trigger on you coming to Washington. He ain't gonna mess up his gig. Right?
He's out here depreciating his own value, man. Take us home,
boy. Man. It's like when you go to a new school and your boys say, man, I'm coming over with you. Nah, leave me alone. Let me be.
Yeah.
Facts. So true.
Let me get the lay of the land first.
Let me get the lay of the land first.
Well, this has been a great show, man. Actually, I love the discussion, man. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Just search all Burgundy and Gold everything. Also, Twitter's at ABG_ everything. Like Mo said, 3 R's. And then you got thing. 3 R's. And then you got thing. Anyway, hit us up on IG at ABG_ everything. And like our All Burgundy and Gold everything Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold everything YouTube channel. We're close to 400. Y'all getting us there. I'll be peeping game, so I appreciate y'all. But you got to make sure we get there and some. Then I'm gonna ask y'all about 500.
Man, tell a friend, man. Yeah. Go grab a friend. Football season is approaching.
Yeah, then we're gonna start doing live. We're gonna do more live stuff. Live stuff's about to go down. We about to do some
anybody that'll come to the game at your house. Anybody that'll come to the game at your house, the cookout for the game, what we call it before the game, the
tailgate.
The tailgate. Get them to subscribe to what we doing over here, man. We giving y'all all good content.
Tell a friend who's gonna tell a friend who's gonna tell a friend.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, not them stingy friends.
Hit the button, man. Hit that red button, man. Right there. Hit that red button.
Yeah. Don't tell a stingy friend. They the worst. Anyway, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. You've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene, Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces. We out.